Hey everybody, this is Darren Sabedra again with the Mercury News, East Bay Times, Bay Area News Group here with Mike Lefkow. Mike, I can't believe it, but we're heading into the 6th week of the high school football season, and as we normally do at the beginning of each week, we'll look at some of the top storylines and matchups, and we'll start as usual with De La Salle, which got a big win, huge win over Bishop Gorman on Friday night, and now we'll be traveling the 3 hours or so down to Fresno to play Buchanan. Is this are they going to be walking into a hornet's nest here? I mean, Buchanan, I'm looking at some of the guys on their roster, a couple of 4-star guys, Kendall Milton, the running back, junior, 4-star guy according to 247 Sports, another 4-star player, athlete, Jalen Cropper, who has offers from Cal, Boise State, Arizona, and Utah. According to 247 Sports Crystal Ball, Utah is going to be his pick. But what do you think? I mean, do you think this is a trap game for the Spartans?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think this is your classic trap game. It's not maybe as much of a trap game as some games are, but yeah, De La Salle's going to have to be careful. They're coming off a big win against Bishop Gorman. They have a long bus ride down to Clovis. So yeah, this is one the coaches are going to have to guard against any kind of player letdown.
And it's a huge stadium that they're going to be playing at. Buchanan is where they host the state track and field championships, and that is a good-sized stadium down there.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but yeah, I mean this is your classic trap game. But I still think De La Salle's a better team. I think that it'll come down to how the line play goes. If De La Salle dominates up front, they should win the game.
So you see it kind of like the St. Francis game?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll be a rout. I don't think you're going to ever have a running clock in this game, but I think De La Salle wins.
Okay, all right. Another big game that we will obviously be following and covering. Vitas Masica will be out there for us. Foothill College, WCAL opener between Mitty and Serra. What do you think this game, this outcome will tell us about either of these teams?
Well, I think it'll tell us how good Mitty is from the standpoint, can they stay close? Or is it going to be could it turn into a rout? I think Serra has a little bit more to answer in this game than maybe Mitty does, because Serra, I think, is a player in the state situation,
right?
And they need a convincing victory.
I agree. They're coming off a 10-point loss to Pittsburgh, which, on the big scale, it's not a bad loss going to Pitt and losing 45-35. But this would at least an impressive win in this game would even Serra's record at 2-2 and obviously show the St. Francis's and the Valley Christians of the world that they're still there, and they're the defending champs, and they're the champs until somebody knocks them off.
Right. Don't forget about us is what Serra can say.
Right. The East Bay Athletic League, 2 divisions this year in the EBAL. And so these games are technically non-league games, but Granada and Dublin have pretty big games coming up this weekend.
Yeah, Granada goes to California. Dublin plays at San Ramon. Or is that game at?
That's at San Ramon.
And these are this will be a chance for Dublin and Granada to prove that they're as good as their 4-0 starts. I've been impressed with both teams. We don't know how good they are. They've played some decent teams, but not really.
Dublin has the win over Milpitas, but we don't know how good Milpitas is after it lost to Salinas 25-0.
Yeah, which was a shock. I mean, I never thought they'd lose that bad. And Granada, I think they beat Manteca. They've got a couple interesting victories. So I think they beat Foothill pretty good. So Granada is a team that's to watch out for. California looks like a real good team. And just so people know, that game is being played at California High School. It was supposed to be Granada's home game, but there's something with the field there, and they had to switch it.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll find out a lot about Granada and Dublin. And I mean, they're in our rankings, as is Cal, as is San Ramon Valley. One EBAL team not in our rankings, Amador Valley, which I think got some voting points this week. They might have a case to be in our rankings relatively soon.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think if they keep winning,
the one loss was to Del Oro, and we all know what Del Oro has done in the past and what they're doing now, coming off, I believe it was a 42-7 win over Granite Bay, a team that Monte Vista beat 9-3 to open the season.
When I did comparative schedules, I just felt Granada had played a little tougher competition.
Right. Another big question going into the weekend, the BVAL is in the Bay Valley Athletic League, not the BVAL down in the South Bay and the Peninsula. The Bay Valley Athletic League starts this weekend, and the one headliner is Freedom playing host to Antioch. Can Freedom spoil Antioch's perfect season?
Yes, they can. I mean, Freedom has got a lot of talent.
Giles Jackson, Michigan commit.
Right. The quarterback, Joey Aguilar, is not bad. They've got the receiver, Ely. So they've got talent, and they could upset Antioch. But Antioch this year, they have played very well up till now.
Carnthong seems like he's playing at another level, and his level was already pretty high.
Oh, I mean, you talk about a smart, heady quarterback. I mean, he's like a coach on the field. He's a terrific player. And Antioch's got two good receivers, and Gotti Campbell and DeJuan Butler. This is a nice team. So, and they did a nice job against Marin Catholic last week.
They did. If they want to be in the open division, this is a game they have to win. I mean, we're trying to come up with scenarios that they could get into the open with losses to Pitt and Liberty. A lot of people think they need to split between those two games, and that means they'd have to win. They have to win this game.
Well, I mean, to me, the one solution is just keep on winning, and you don't have to worry about it. I mean, if Antioch runs the table, they're in.
Exactly. And they're undefeated right now at 5-0.
Right. So.
And Freedom at 4-1, coming off a win over San Ramon Valley. Right. The South Bay. The leagues are starting up down there, and the Bay Valley, or the BVAL down in the South Bay is the Blossom Valley Athletic League, and the top division is the Mount Hamilton division, and its headliner this weekend is Pioneer, undefeated, playing host to Live Oak, which is also undefeated. Phil Jensen will be there covering it for us. This league looks wide open. I mean, Oak Grove is the longtime power in that league, but obviously appears to be down. I don't know who's going to win this league.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to find out a little bit about this league this weekend when
Pioneer
and Live Oak play. Yeah, there's
Leland got hammered down they went down to Arizona and lost pretty badly. Oak Grove, we know some of the scores that they've had have not been pretty. So, be interesting to see how that league ends up playing out, because it still is classified as an A league in the CCS, meaning that they're going to put some teams in that. Going to put at least 4 teams in that in those open divisions that the CCS has. The Santa Clara Valley Athletic League De Anza division is a little more powerful this season than the BVAL, with 4 teams in that league. 3 teams this week ranked: Wilcox, Los Gatos, Palo Alto, or I think should be the other way: Wilcox, Palo Alto, Los Gatos. And then the defending champion Milpitas, which fell out of our rankings this week after its loss on Friday. Palo Alto plays host to Milpitas on Friday night. Do you see this being as a potential first loss for Palo Alto?
Well, I mean, I think any game like this, there's a potential for an upset. I mean, Pali has to be the favorite now based on what they've done. Milpitas has struggled.
Favored in this game.
Right.
I think Wilcox is the favorite.
Oh, yeah, no. Wilcox looks like the best team. But, I mean, the thing is this is one of those games where Milpitas has got a lot of good personnel. They put it together. Sure, they can go out and beat Palo Alto.
Right.
But, again, if you're betting odds on this game, Palo Alto is the favorite.
Yeah, it would not surprise us if Milpitas won, but until Palo Alto shows us that it's not, until it has a hiccup, they're undefeated.
Well, I mean, this game would fall in the mild upset category if Milpitas won, but yeah, Pali has looked really good so far. So we'll see.
4-0 with Jackson Chris and is it Aiden Chang, I believe, the guy who had 180 yards.
Oh yeah,
a big runner. So yeah, that is the headliner in week 1. Although Los Gatos can be playing at Levi Stadium on Friday night against Homestead, which Homestead has had its struggles at 0-4, I believe.
No, Los Gatos just has to take care of business.
Yeah, they'll take. Yeah. Anything else you want to add before we wrap up? Any other thoughts going into week 6?
No, I think the EBAL, to me, of course, I'm kind of based in the East Bay, be a kind of an interesting week to see how that league shakes out. I'm looking forward to seeing both Granada and Cal, 2 teams that have come out of the gate fast and look pretty good.
Yeah, you had an interesting tweet. With how many teams in the EBA from the EBAL ranked this week?
6 teams are ranked from the EBAL.
But yet I called the Bay Valley League in the newsletter. Speaking of the newsletter, please sign up. It's free. I said the Bay Valley Athletic League is without question the Bay Area's best league.
Well,
and 3 teams in the top 5.
Yeah, 3 teams in the top 5, and Freedom is a pretty
in the
good
top
team.
12. So 4 in the top 12.
And the league is only 6 deep. So, I mean, 4 of the teams are really, really good. I mean, let's be fair, too. I mean, the West Cal is stronger than the EBAL as well. But the EBAL is, you don't think so?
Well, top heavy, yes. I mean, if you talk about St. Francis, Serra, Valley, and then Mitty, well, Mitty had a narrow win over Acalanes. So, I mean, and Acalanes not in the EBAL. I mean, how would Acalanes do in the EBAL?
You know, they probably fall. It's hard to say. I don't know how they would do up against.
So yeah, I mean, Sarah and St. Francis and maybe Valley, I would think would do very well in the EBAL. But after that, I think there's a drop.
Well, I don't think we really know how good Granada, Dublin, and Amador Valley are. I think now we're going to start seeing how good they are. But California is a school that looks like could play with anybody. I mean, they dominated Freedom at Freedom.
Right.
And that's not to be overlooked.
And we did explain in the newsletter and also in our rankings this week how in the world, and I think in our last video, how California is still ranked behind Freedom in our top 25.
Well,
by 1 point this week. The gap is narrowed. It's like 60, I want to say it's like 66 to 65.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's hard to make it all up in 1 or 2 weeks. I mean, like, you know, BYU goes out and beats Wisconsin this week. Well, they're not going to get ranked ahead of Wisconsin.
Right. They are.
And I think Auburn, which opened the season by beating Washington, fell behind the Huskies this week because Auburn lost and Washington won. It happens.
Yes, and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, I mean,
if it were so vanilla, it wouldn't be fun.
You know, the thing about polls is the cream always rises to the top. Right. If California is as good as they've played up till now, they will eventually be in the top 10. I mean, the EBL is a tough league, and they'll be ranked where they belong.
Right. Sign up for the newsletter. Check us out at mercurynews.com, eastbaytimes.com. And that's all I have.
After you're done checking out the newsletter, you can debate the rankings.
That's true.
Just like we are.
That's true. Very good. Have a good one, everybody.